When you're working toward handstands, all of us seem to think, get to the wall and get held upside down for a little while. And then we start to realize, okay, there are parts of my body I have to prepare for this activity. It easily becomes obvious, okay, I need maybe some hamstring stretches to help get me upside down, forward and back, in and out of the front and back of my mat. But the one spot maybe you're not thinking about are your shoulders. Handstands can be the most incredible shoulder openers, and there's a lot you can do to prepare for that. Doing leapfrogs, believe it or not, very cardiovascular, will really warm up your whole body, but also is like putting a little oil on the joint, some lubrication, getting your shoulders ready to go. Let's do a few of those, and then know that you could pepper those throughout between some of these exercises to start checking in on how much of my shoulders opened up already. So here's how you'll do one of these. Come to your mat in a downward facing dog. Shorten the downward facing dog and make a diamond shape with your legs so the inside of the ball of your big toe and inside of your heel touching. Keep that diamond shape the whole time. And then fingertips grip the mat like you're a cat pawing a pillow. Inhale, bend your knees, lean back. Exhale, lean into your fingertips. You might just take these mini leapfrogs. Here at the beginning, I can hear the joints in my fingers creaking. I can feel the muscles in my hands getting stronger. And I'm just getting a sense of what it takes to let my shoulders lean over my fingertips. So that's the first exercise, just a simple leapfrog prep. Once you do the leapfrog prep, then we need to just get a little more sustained stretching in the shoulders. Let's use a yoga strap. So a yoga strap doesn't have to actually be a made-for-yoga strap. You could use the belt from a robe, a tie. Many things in your home will work already. Let's have a look at this shoulder stretch. So I've got my feet all set, hands behind, hold the strap and stretch it wide. Not so wide that you can get the strap up and overhead as if you were jump roping. Then, soft knees, relax your belly down your thighs, ribs to your thighs, chest to your thighs. Get to the point where you start to feel your hamstrings warming up, and then begin spilling your hands overhead. You'll need to just wait for this one. Let gravity start to do its work. It doesn't matter how far overhead your hands are dropping, just go to the distance that works for you and keep your wrists neutral. Every now and then you could maybe widen the strap just a little bit more. Allow your hands to sink overhead a little bit further and just let the weight of gravity do the work. Just let your hands hang heavier and heavier toward the floor. While you're here, set your gaze on just one still point that you can see across the room. Breathe regular, steady breath. Every time you exhale is an opportunity to let go and let there be more space physically in the fronts of your shoulders. You could stay here holding this for 5 breaths, something like 30, 40, even 50 counts of breath. Just being patient and steady, aware of the weight in your feet, of the lengthening of your neck, and the letting go in your shoulders. I even can feel this stretch in my forearms. Then once you've held it for a pretty long time, be gentle and supportive in bringing yourself out. Bring your wrists together, bend your elbows, and come on back up to standing. You can probably already feel that in your shoulders and right down the front line of your forearms. Next are arm circles. Arm circles done in a particular way are going to give you this stretching down your whole lateral body. So from your hip all the way up into your armpit, and then your arm bone as it's connecting into your shoulder, that whole area gets to be stretched and warmed up, woken up, ready for some movement. Meanwhile, we'll be taking some lunges, triangle, warrior two kind of lunges. We'll do it with some support to be able to start warming up the legs as well as a secondary byproduct benefit. So let's go like this. Let's start with warrior two legs, and in fact, bring some blocks into the work to give extra support. You can rest your hands, so work with a fist and the whole top of your fist, or right now your flat palm. It is possible to work with fingertips, making a suction shape with the ball of your palm or this arcing arch of your palm. So rest your fingertips on the block, or your flat palm, or your fist. And then with your arm, reach overhead for an extended side angle. Then reach back as far as you can to the back edge of your mat. Then it's as though you're dragging your knuckles across the floor. Bend your elbow and start working and opening the circle a little more each time. So circle opens up, you can feel the whole side body stretch, reach back, roll your shoulder forward as you drag your knuckles, and then just keep reaching and working your body open. I can really hear the work. I don't know about you, but when I'm opening up my shoulders like this, there's so much crunching and thumping as my body just becomes re-lubricated. So it's shoulder rolled forward, side body stretching, and then shoulder rolled back. You could work with this in triangle legs. It doesn't really change a whole lot about what's going on in your shoulders and side body, but it brings more of your torso into the movement and even the stretching of your inner thigh. Drag your knuckles, bend your elbow, keep your body opening, move your arm behind your ear, reach back. Try to go for 20, 30 of those circles. Start small and get bigger and bigger in your range of motion. Okay, you're a little more warmed up now. Let's get ready for this next one. You'll need your strap. Grab your strap, open it up long, and my strap's pretty long. I'm gonna fold it in half. Now for this next one, this is gonna really challenge right down the center inside of your forearm and the whole range of motion of your shoulders. So check this one out. Start, feet parallel. Strap pretty long, wide, pulled tight, and your hands a little wider than your shoulders. Your flexibility is gonna tell you how wide it has to be. So now that we've done the arm circles, we have a little bit more ability to reach into this particular movement. So whole body straight, especially here in your body. You're gonna find yourself wanting to kind of sneak forward, to kind of sneak yourself into this movement. See if you can keep the true north alignment where your ribs are just reflecting over top the bowl of your pelvis rather than popping out forward of the bowl of your pelvis. So let's give this a try. Straight arms, reach up and overhead, up and behind you. See, I'm sliding now to find my whip. The minimal amount of slide I can do, to take my arms behind. Keep your wrists neutral. Now we have to bring it back up and over. So keep it up and over. Just like that, really slow. See if your shoulders can even not start moving forward and back. They stay settled in your body, very natural, neutral, and you're just reaching up and back, up and forward. I can feel this actually all the way down my forearm into the base of my thumb on my palm. This one's a game changer. Do this one every single day and the mobility in your shoulders will change. Can you see I'm even starting to get a little more warmed up, but I want to kind of cheat out of the movement by throwing my ribs forward? Try to resist that default. Try to just stay shoulders over ribs, ribs over hips, hips over feet, and let your body warm up. And if at first that means your hands get really wide, go really wide. And then ultimately they'll come closer and closer together as you develop your range of motion. Now that you're a little bit more warmed up, we've done those leapfrog preps. We're gonna do the whole leapfrog. Now don't worry if you're not finding yourself getting upside down. The thing about this is just the forward and back motion, bringing the warming up into your shoulders and other parts of your body. And then also emotionally, just getting more comfortable being upside down. We just want the leaping motion and that it's got a really calm quality to it, matched with your breath pattern. So keep the diamond shape right now in your legs. It really triggers your lower core, your inner thighs, helps to build the total body strength needed to be upside down. Let's do some of these leapfrogs. So downward facing dog. Downward facing dog starts way back. You come in a bit. Make the diamond shape, make your strong hands. Inhale, bend. Exhale, leap, and leap, and leap. See, the feet stay together the whole time. Go ahead and do as many of those as you can, forward and back. Maybe at first it's just a little inch off of the floor, and then you start getting used to that rocking motion, where weight is rocking into your hands evenly from your palms into your fingertips until your whole hand is holding you up. That's a little scary for a lot of people, going from the back of the palm into the fingertips, and it's where an inversion lives. Let's have a look at this chin to palm press, so Sphinx pose. Left elbow to right elbow, and keep it tucked in right next to your elbow, not somewhere up toward your wrist or forearm. And then elbows touching, lay your whole upper arm down, keep your left shoulder in your body rather than pushing out of your body toward your thumb. Chin to palm, press down. Get a sense of that, and then you could intensify. So I'll intensify by bringing my left leg now out into the half frog pose and press down. Make sure you do both sides. Once you're warmed up in your shoulders from the chin to palm on your belly, stretch. Now we have another one lying down on your belly. So this one we'll use a strap for. Come onto your mat. Unwind the strap. Start with your arms in the Sphinx pose. Bring your left elbow to your right elbow. So make them touch as close as you can. And then left shoulder relaxed, down your side body toward your hip rather than squeeze up toward your ear. Place from elbow to shoulder of your left upper arm on the mat. Then your left arm can reach over your right shoulder and down your back. And just stretch your strap down your spine. Then your right arm, that shoulder can roll forward as you reach up your back to the strap. Doesn't matter how high you reach, you just go to your limit. As you warm up, you'll gradually walk your hands closer and closer together. And at first, just right here with your legs, eyes on one point and breathe. As your body adapts, so you can feel some work in both shoulders, there's some work in your back body, you can ultimately add your left leg out to the side in the half camel pose. Eyes on one point. Maybe just activate your right toes under so your whole body is alive in the stretch. And then consciously use your breathing to just relax. Now this one too, make sure you do both sides. Here's your last shoulder stretch on the ground. This is a good one. You've done a lot of warming up already, and like any of the sustained stretches, hold it by placing your gaze on one point. Your drishti is what that's called. And then keep a steady, flowing breath. Slow and steady inhales with a pause. Slow and steady out breath with a pause. And just watch how the space changes in your body as you're patient and you stay inside of it and breathing. So stay in the pose as long as your curiosity can maintain being curious. And you'll know you're complete when your body just feels really at ease and has been at ease in the stretch. So start by coming down onto your back. Lie down flat. Stretch your arms out wide like airplane wings. So you're like a T that tipped over on the floor. Okay, next step, bend your knees. Roll away from the side where you're going to bend your arm. So I'm going to roll away from you, bend my left arm, keep my fingers fanned out wide, and tuck them under my back body, right up under my shoulder blade. Get your fingers tucked up really pretty high. Tempting to leave them here under your waist, below your rib cage, and the stretch is really different there. So see if you can get at least fingers on ribs and relax your shoulder. Let your whole, this little wing you've just created, relax as much as it possibly can. Then leave the wing on the floor. Start shifting your weight. So I'm shifting my hips now away from the camera and rolling my torso toward the camera. I'm going to grab a block and rest it under my head. Keeps a little bit more of a natural line in my spine and is more comfortable. You'll find in your bodies differing degrees of how much you can roll into this stretch. So my wrist is outside of my rib cage. If I got that tucked way too far under my body, I would diminish the stretch that I'm experiencing. I can feel this in the outside of my shoulder. See if you can stack your hips up and just relax here and breathe. So I can tell I have a little tension in my shoulder. I'm resisting the stretch by shrugging my shoulder a little more toward my chin. So I'm going to set my gaze on one point, relax as much of my body as I can, come into my steady breathing, maybe by beginning with a sigh, a deep breath in, and an exhale. I felt my head relax, my neck relax, and the shoulder just open up and settle toward the floor. Keep on breathing and having an expectation of more space in your shoulder. Let your body open. It's pretty simple. All you have to do is wait and let gravity do the work. And then when you're complete, unwind. Take your time. Release your arm. Let your arm relax for just a moment. Let your shoulder adapt to its new space. And then make sure you do the other side.
Now that your shoulders are open and warmed up, your body is ready to play and discover what's there for you in inversions and back bends.